Good morning, students. Welcome back to chemistry classroom once again. Today I will start from solution, suspension and colloids. So look at your book. In the previous class already you have read about solution, suspension and colloid. What is solution? Solution, suspension and colloids are important types of mixtures. So basically mixtures are available in three types: solution, suspension and colloids. Solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of one or more solutes with a solvent. So normally, when more than one type of homogeneous solute dissolve in water, they form solution. Common examples of solution are the homogeneous mixture of common salt, sugar, copper sulfate, calcium chloride, potassium nitrate, potassium permanganate, and ammonium chloride with water. A solution has the important characteristic of being transparent and passing through a filter paper or a membrane. As because solution is a homogeneous mixture, that's why basically homogeneous mixture are transparent in nature and easily pass the filter paper or a membrane. Obviously, the size of the solute particles must be very small, 1 nanometer or less than a diameter. In M means nanometer. So the size of solute particles is too teeny and we can't see them in open eyes. It may be approx 1 nanometer or 10 to the power minus 9 meter or a millionth of a millimeter. तो कितना छोटा है समझो. The term solute and solvent are used in respect of solution. They are replaced by the terms disperse phase and dispersion medium respectively for a suspension as well as colloid. So solute and solvent, the term is basically define the solution. They are replaced by the disperse phase and dispersion medium. Suspension. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture of one or more dispersed phase in dispersion medium. So here is the basic difference between solution and suspension is it is a homogeneous mixture, but suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. So the solute are basically heterogeneous in nature. They form dispersed phase in dispersion medium. Muddy water is a common example of suspension. Here, oil is the dispersed phase. So it can't, soil here as a dispersed phase. मतलब इसको हम लोग solute नहीं बोल सकते. इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? Dispersed phase. Same way, the solution is not here as solution. It is a suspension. And the water dispersion medium. Similarly, chalk, कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट और जिप्सम कैल्शियम सल्फेट और उसी के अंदर वाटर मॉलिक्यूल प्रेजेंट है. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? जिप्सम. ब्लैकबोर्ड चॉक व्हेन स्टीयर्ड इन वाटर गिव्स अ सस्पेंशन. मतलब नॉर्मली जो पार्टिकल्स इजीली वाटर में डिजॉल्व नहीं होगा, मतलब अगर चाहे वो हीट दे या उसको कूल करे, स्टीयर करे, किसी भी कीमत पर पानी के अंदर डिजॉल्व नहीं होता है, दे फॉर्म अ सस्पेंशन नेचर डिस्पर्शन मीडियम. Basically example are calcium carbonate or gypsum or muddy soil. For a suspension, it is not necessary that the dispersed phase be a solid and dispersion medium a liquid. तो dispersed phase solid हो या dispersion medium liquid हो, ये जरूरी नहीं है. The suspension of a liquid in a liquid called an emulsion. So अगर डिस्पर्शन फेज में ए लिक्विड के अंदर अगर लिक्विड घुला जाए तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? इमल्सन. लाइक ऑयल एंड वाटर इमल्सन, क्योंकि वाटर इज द मीडिया दैट इज सॉल्वेंट, एक्ट एज अ सॉल्वेंट, इट इज ऑल्सो लिक्विड और उसी के अंदर वाटर लिक्विड फॉर्म में ऑयल को घुला जा रहा है, दे फॉर्म इमल्सन. सेम है लिक्विड इन ए गैस कॉल्ड फॉग, like water in air. Same way, a solid in a gas called smoke. are also quite common. So these are the different state of suspension. The size of a dispersed particles in a suspension is much larger than that of a solute in solution. It is 10 to the power minus 6. So here is the particles is quite large than the solution. It is 10 to the power minus 6, that means millionth of a meter or more in a diameter. A suspension is not transparent. So here is a solution. It is a transparent in nature, but suspension is not transparent. And it is a dispersed particles slowly settle down because being a large, they are heavy too. As because the dispersed particle is heavy rather than the solvent particles, that's why it is settle down easily at the bottom of the container. You must have seen that the soil settle down from the muddy water in the glass. Next, colloids. A colloid is a homogeneous mixture of one or more dispersed phases in dispersion medium. So colloid, it is also again homogeneous mixture, more than one dispersed phase in dispersed medium. Like milk in the most common example of a colloid. Butterfat globules dispersed in water. So milk easily घुल जाता है. उसके अंदर जो normally butterfat globules है, they cannot easily dissolve in water. Jam, jelly, whipped cream and the gelatin are also common example of colloid. Colloids are not transparent. So same way as because suspension, colloid is also not a transparent in nature and the dispersed particles do not settle down. So same way suspension ka jaisa particles, it is quite large and heavy rather than solvent. That's why it is easily settle down at the bottom of the beaker. But here as colloid particles do not settle down. The size of a dispersed particles is in between those of the solute in solution and the dispersed particle in a suspension. मतलब इसका साइज कितना होता है 10 to the power minus 9 से लेकर शुरू 10 to the power 6. मतलब it is bounded by 10 to the power minus 9 meter to 10 to the power minus 6 meter. The characteristic of solution, suspension and colloid are given in table 8.1. So here is a chart and student you have to learn the different characters. First one is character type of mixture, homogeneous, heterogeneous, homogeneous. Settling of the solute and dispersed particles do not settle and do not settle once again. Same way behavior towards light, that is solution is a transparent, not transparent and easily not transparent. Size of solute smaller than 1 nanometer, 10 to the power minus 9 meter, 10 to the minus 6 meter. Between that range of 10 to the power minus 9 meter to 10 to the power minus 6 meter. So student, I hope all of you understood what I've discussed today. So for today, up to this portion.